Whenever I'm faced with science questions, one my approach is not to rush the questions themselves. I don't feel the rush to break them apart. What I like to do is hold the questions themselves, metaphorically that is. I can compare this to as if I was holding a stone in my hand, examining its shape, feeling its weight, feeling it from different angles. So, what I'm going to do is take an example of a science-related question for this video and how I sit with it rather than rush through it. This video will be to give you an idea of how my thinking works, walking around an idea, not breaking it apart, understanding from as if I was holding a stone, examining it from all kinds of angles, feeling its weight and texture, not breaking it apart. And now, what I'd like to do is share an example of a science question that's of interest to me. The question I'm going to choose is to do with how I would predict the universe's fate. One thing I'd do is first look at the rate of galaxies far away from us. Other factors can include gravitational influences, like from dark matter and the amount of that there may be around. And another factor is, a third one I can think of, is the influence of what is known as dark energy. A second question that's of interest to me would be trying to work out why clothes would dry more quickly on certain days compared to other ones. What I would do here is use the same number of clothes on 2 separate days under 2 different weather conditions, and what I do afterwards is compare the rate at which the clothes would dry. Factors here I would take into consideration would include whether it was sunny or cloudy, windy or calm, the temperature, the wind speed, and humidity levels. Sometimes ideas can feel incomplete for me for some questions, like more recently in terms of the universe's likely fate. One observation has been that it has been expanding. More recent studies have shown the rate of expansion is decreasing. It was initially thought that, I would have thought that the influence of dark energy would have resulted in it expanding faster, but that's another thing to go on now. That's another thing that makes it feel incomplete for me and makes me want to delve deeper into understanding it more. For a long time, I have struggled. I've had a struggle with perfection. But nowadays, I'm starting to see it all a bit differently. I can compare it to walking around an idea, accepting more sides. Well, one thing I can think of is the infinite number of ways you can theoretically examine the stone. Well, that's what I think of. I can think of here. And it's all based on mathematics when I think about it. Whilst doing videos for this channel, one piece of advice I heard was imperfections can be left in over time. That's what you should do. And over time, progress can be seen when you look back. For science, for me, there's undiscovered things, but there's always going to be something new to discover and learn about. You can compare this to walking around an idea and accepting there's more sides, shapes, textures, and patterns, perhaps infinitely more. But it doesn't make understanding weaker. For me, it can make it feel more alive. Going back to accepting that imperfections will be a fact of life, this all helps me to see and feel that things are already complete, especially if there's lots of other factors involved and there's other strong evidence. Going back to working out why clothes may dry more quickly on a certain day, the factors of temperature differences, wind speed differences, humidity differences can help it all to feel more complete. By walking around an idea, or ideas like this, I don't feel the need to rush so much. Understanding becomes something, it's become something I've learnt to live with, not something I can totally conquer. When it comes to exploring science-related topics and questions, I realize I don't have to take things apart straight away. I can take my time to analyze. For example, if I was holding a stone, I could take my time to analyze it from all angles and not necessarily break it apart. This all helps show me different sides over time. If any of these ways of thinking resonate well with you, you're welcome here and you're not alone. A question for you: how do you explore your own ideas? I'd be interested in hearing your responses in the comments section below.